Hey everybody, this is awkward. I am actually on campus where my daughter's going to be going to school in the fall, and I was just going to skip the live chat today, but I thought, no, you know what? I'm just going to go outside and find me a spot. I am seriously balancing my camera on a fire hydrant, and there's lots of college students walking around today, so I just wanted to get on and not miss out on the live chat for today. So I hope that you guys will hop on in, and I hope that it's broadcasting well. Let me know if you guys are coming. Oh, there are. See, it's telling me nobody's here, but then there's people saying hi. So I guess you're here. Hey, great. Good to see you. Rosio Salas, welcome. Hey, Karen. Karen's here. She's my go-to. Sunshine Cleveland, welcome. Angela, ADH Suggles is here. Mac Zoo is here. Hello, welcome. Keto Floof is here. Great, you guys. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm actually sitting here in the college campus where my daughter's going to be going to school. And we're here for her orientation. And I literally was freezing to death inside, you guys. Like, my nose was turning red. It was so cold. And I came out here and it's so nice and warm. I thought, I made my kid go to the breakout sessions without me so that I could chat with you guys instead. I think is, nice of me maybe, but I'm really like freezing. So that's more of the reason I want to be outside. Jennifer Costa is here. Laura Trent, can't wait, smells great. Keto, Epiphany London. Jennifer Costa, I love you. I miss you too. I'm sorry I couldn't be here last week, and I just couldn't do that to you guys again. I really was going to just skip the chat today because we're here at the college, but because we had these breakout sessions and really only my daughter needs to be there, I decided I would go ahead and take a minute to come and say hi anyway because I didn't want to miss out. I had planned a subject to talk about, but because of the situation of being here at the college, I decided I was just going to go no holds barred and not really have a subject. But I did want to encourage you guys to check out the podcast that just got posted. I posted a link in the community tab. If you missed it, you can go to the top of the page and click on right by my videos. There's like a community tab. Click on there and you'll see the post I shared with the podcast. So yeah, if you check out the podcast that Keto Steve and I did, we did it in Denver, and you're gonna laugh, but I had been driving around Denver for like 3 hours trying to find a place to eat, trying to find anything, and I had come across finally like a wing stop and had just eaten wings in the car, and I did that podcast with Steve in the Safeway parking lot in Denver. It was crazy. It all worked out, and he was a great host, and so I hope everybody will go support Keto Steve. He might stop by here, in fact, and maybe promote the video also. And don't forget to subscribe to him. He is such a great guy, and he really gets together with a lot of keto people and kind of picks their brain about how they got started and how they got started on YouTube and how successful they have been and like what are their tips for success. So it's more about like YouTube and life in general, not just about keto and that kind of stuff. So it was less diet tips and more like how to get started tips and like what the motivation behind getting started was. So if you can, get over there and check it out. I know I'm wordy, and I talked to him forever and a day. I think the video is like 45 minutes long or something crazy, but it's a podcast, so you can listen to it while you're driving, while you're doing other things. You don't have to actually interact or watch or like, because there's nothing really to see. You just hear it because I was like talking to him on the phone. I listened to the last few podcasts that he did with CJ's Keto Kitchen and Allie McWowie, and I just really enjoyed them. So I hope that you guys will get something out of that. It was really fun experience, of kind of a different medium for me, and I actually really enjoyed it. I really liked talking to him and sharing my experiences and that kind of thing. So here's my plug for Keto Steve. Stephen Blake is the channel, STEPHAN Blake, BLAKE. Oh my gosh, I can't even spell. And that's his channel, and he posted it today. So it's up. Go check it out. The link's also in my community tab. I'll try to remember to put it in the about section of this video as well if I get a chance to after we're done. But so I'm going to chat with you guys as long as you come up with questions for me. I don't really have a subject, like I said today. We could talk about anything. We could talk about my macros. We could talk about whooshes. We could talk about protein-centric keto. We could talk about lots of things. So it's up to you. What do you guys want to chat about? That was an interesting looking guy. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see. You guys come up with the questions, and if you have some, we'll chat. And if not, then I'm just going to say goodbye and go find my kid again. I think she'll be okay. She applied for college by herself and has worked everything out. This is the first time I've been involved in her college plans at all. Like, I haven't helped her at all with any of it. So I'm just here to like be a warm body, I guess, and drive her down. And it's like a 4-hour thing. We've already been here for like, I think 3 hours now. So I think we're coming to the end, and they supposedly are feeding us barbecue at the end. Here's hoping it's not covered in sugary sauce. Probably is. But if so, I'm going to go stop and get some wings on the way home because I am ravenously starving because it is 11 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything. Of course, because I always try and do intermittent fasting, push that first meal as late as I can. But because I'm here feeling anxious, oh my heck, I'm dying to eat. So luckily there's nothing to eat. So I can't go and carb fest myself to death. We got here late for breakfast. I saw a bunch of fruit and things on the table, but we were too late to eat it. So Ronnie's probably starving too. At the very least, she'll be able to eat the barbecue, right? So, hey, Keto Cricket, good to see you. Stephanie, hello. Let's see who else is here. Luz Diaz, Tanya McFarland, Virginia Webb, conscious type person, Miss Relatable, and I think that's everybody. Okay, so that's a good question. Do you feel that Celtic sea salt is good for replacing electrolytes? Yes. Absolutely. Celtic sea salt is a great choice. Any kind of really good natural salt is a good one for electrolytes. You can make Soleil water out of any sodium, basically about any salt, even table salt, but yuck. Table salt is just gross tasting, and really it's just not that important. You can get your iodine from sea salts. You don't need to have table salt that's been manufactured and then had iodine put back in. So don't stress about iodine. Dr. Finney basically says it's negligible to worry about, and if you do, you can take an iodine supplement separately. So yes, definitely you can take the Celtic sea salt, measure it out, and swallow it like a pill. I've actually done that with Himalayan salt, with the crystals, the big ones. I've swallowed them like a pill. That has actually saved me quite a few situations. You can, of course, make your Soleil water like me. I have a little bit with me right here. In fact, I probably should take some. I haven't taken any since about 7:30 in my bag. So you can see proof. Here I am at a college campus, and I've only got my purse with me, and I have my baggie of pink salt as well. So this is if I run out of my Soleil water, because obviously I didn't replenish it this morning. I only had 2 doses in this bottle. And I have, you can see, a little over a tablespoon available to me, and I usually like to take 2 tablespoons at a time. So I might feel like I need to take some later, and I will just put some of this. I won't be able to measure it, obviously. It's obviously optimal to measure it, but I'll put about, I don't know, like in the palm of my hand right there, and then I just swallow it with water. You can munch on it too if you prefer, if you like the taste, but yeah, that is definitely a good option for your electrolytes. Now, if you're new to electrolytes, you want to make sure that you're getting 5,000 milligrams of sodium every single day. So if you don't know how much sodium is in a 1/4 teaspoon or whatever, or a gram of the salt that you're using, you're going to want to check the label on that and make sure you get the right amount. I hope these guys aren't going to be driving back and forth the whole time. That's really irritating. Kubota. Anyway, so yeah, you're going to want to figure out what sodium content your specific salt contains, and you're going to want to make sure you're taking 5,000 milligrams of sodium. That's not the weight of the salt itself, because it's going to be more than 5,000 milligrams most likely. Like, I think a gram of pink salt, which is about a 1/4 teaspoon, has 300, I could be wrong, might be 400 milligrams of sodium in it. So you have to decide how much you need. Now me, I've been doing this a really long time. I don't track it as well as I probably should. I try and take 1 to 2 tablespoons 4 times a day is my goal. I don't always make the goal, and I usually pay for it the next day. If I am feeling yucky, I will take even more of my actual salt. And I just keep it with me always as my backup, because sometimes I forget my Soleil water on the counter. But I know that I always have some form of sodium in my purse, so that if I get into a bind, I have something that I can use. Because you don't want to be feeling keto flu symptoms and have nothing on you to be able to help you out. Because I get that really easily. I know that I talked about anxiety in my weigh-in video. And actually, yesterday I did pretty well with my anxiety. I did extra magnesium before I went to bed, and that seemed to help me sleep better. And then I went and spent the whole day in the sun. We were at the pool all day yesterday, and I just literally laid in the full sun for hours. I mean, I went swimming too. I mean, I went in the water and played with my kids, and I actually even went on a water slide and totally got dunked. It was awful, but I did it. I was trying to be brave for my kiddos, but I spent the whole day in the sun in my swimsuit, and it was so nice. I have to say, I actually felt so comfortable in my swimsuit. I didn't think I would, and I really did. And I was so glad I went and got myself, like out of my comfort zone. And the anxiety kind of went away, and I wondered if maybe the vitamin D, maybe I'm just not quite getting enough. I don't know. There's lots of things it could be. And of course, I made sure to get extra electrolytes, but I still woke up feeling some keto flu symptoms this morning, though they don't seem to be hitting me now. But I'm just thinking I'm going to take this real quick. Hopefully, since I don't have water with me, that I won't die. But a little over a tablespoon. That line basically is a tablespoon and a half, so it might be close to 2, what my normal dose is. I guess we could find out. Here, let's find out. Because in the top thing, if I fill it up to this top line, it's exactly 2 tablespoons. So yeah, it doesn't quite meet the line, so it's a little under what I would normally take. And that's how I measure it out, is I put it in this thing and then I just take it. We'll see if I cough and sputter and choke this time. Yeah, that's good and salty there. My sister always thinks people are gonna think that I'm like drinking alcohol. I've got my little vodka on me or something. Actually, I did have someone ask me that, which made me laugh so hard, because I thought, why would anyone think that? I don't ever drink. But apparently it looks like I'm carrying around a little alcohol container with me. All right. So let's see. Jennifer Costa says, frustrated that after 3 years on keto, I'm experiencing joint pain. Oh, man. You really shouldn't be feeling joint pain on keto. It's about as anti-inflammatory as it could possibly be. The main thing that I would think is a culprit, if it's dietary, which it may not be dietary, it could be it could be arthritis, it could be a lot of things. If it's dietary, you might have a food that you're sensitive to that causes inflammation in your joints. So some of the bigger, well-known causers of that on keto, of course, are going to be nuts. Specifically, legumes like peanuts can be really, really inflammatory. Seeds like sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. I'll tell you what, you guys, nothing makes me hold water like seeds, and I love seeds. So it's really, really disappointing to me that I can't just eat seeds. And I think that part of the reason I gain so much water weight on maintenance is because I will loosen up on my seeds and nuts ban, and I will eat them, and that causes me to retain a lot of water. And so I have to just pick and choose if I want to have a lot of water retained or not, and sometimes that's kind of how it goes. So it can definitely be eliminating that kind of thing. Even dairy products can cause people to have inflammation issues. Artificial sweeteners can be a cause, aspartame, those kind of things. So basically, my best advice to you, Jennifer, would be to go back to keto basics, even try and eliminate dairy and stick to veggies, fats that aren't dairy, and and meats for a couple weeks, and then start adding things in, and just pay attention to, if you can get the joint pain to go away, then pay attention as you introduce things and try and figure out which thing it is that's causing the pain. Because then when you can figure it out, you can eliminate that from your diet and you don't have to suffer. If going back to strict meat and veggies does not help, then you may want to look into other things. There may be other things that can be causing it that aren't dietary related. Most likely it's not going to be caused by meats or veggies. So if you go back to that for 2 weeks and you still have pain, you're going to probably want to start looking into rheumatoid arthritis and things like that. But here's hoping it's just dietary and you can figure that out. All right. Virginia Webb says she sounds like a responsible kid. I've got a third grader and two kindergartners. Have fun and eat some food. Oh, cute. Yes, she is. And I have to say, she's my only really responsible kid. And she's also my only adopted child. So there's a lot to be said about genetics having anything to do with how your children do in life, because all of my biological children are just kind of like me, fly by night artists who just kind of want to hang out and do and not really put a lot of work in. Now, I definitely work. You guys know I work really hard keeping these 2 YouTube channels going and managing 9 kids and stuff. But I'll tell you what, back in the day, I didn't go to college because I was a breeze through high school kind of person. And part of me knew that college wasn't going to be a breeze through kind of thing, and it was going to involve a lot of work, and work was not my deal. So instead, I chose to get married and have babies, which I thought was not going to be work. Joke's on me. But yeah, she is my only kid who's really motivated to be educationally minded. And ironically, she actually has the most learning disabilities out of all of my children. She really struggles. She also has vision issues, which makes it tricky. So I'm really proud of her. I have to say, like, I take no credit because it's all inside of her. It was not in how I parented her. I parented her the same way I parented all my children. And she's the only one that's really been driven, and she is going to be rich. I'll tell you what, that girl, she is not going to stop until she makes money. I just know it. I just have this feeling that she's going to be the one out of my kids that really is successful. I believe she'll start her own dance studio and it will become amazing, and she will be just phenomenal to watch. So I'm pretty proud of her. So thanks for the compliment, Virginia. She is really awesome to say. Hey, Tony Damien. Hey, Omega Princess 9K. Hello. Tammy Hinckley says, I always want to eat more when I travel. Guess it's vacation mentality. Yeah, I think so. Like on my trip to Denver, I think I really left with the idea that I was going to try and stick to my intermittent fasting and only have the 2 meals. And that lasted all of one day. I think even the first day. So I ate my food before I got in the car, and it was an 8-hour drive, and I didn't take any snacks with me. And that was smart because I didn't eat anything until we got to dinner that night. But at dinner, I ate a freaking prime rib and a Caesar salad. So I never tracked it. I didn't track while I was on vacation. I just kind of tried to stick to keto as best I could. But then the anxiety hit me, and oh man, when I have anxiety, I just really want to eat. And so I try to be really careful about what I eat because I know that I'm going to want to do that. And so I have my plans of what I'm going to do. And what I try to do is just do a meal in between. So I'd have my first one, and then I have like a snacky type meal, and then I have the second meal. And the very first day in Denver, I went straight to Walmart, which is where I thought I would feel safe because I knew it would feel familiar. I had a really hard time being in an unfamiliar environment without Dave, and I really wasn't prepared for that. I didn't think that would happen. I also thought I would have a lot of downtime. I really thought I would be laying around in the hotel room doing nothing for a while. I felt a lot of pressure from people to like get out and do and not waste my time. Part of me wishes that I had just kind of relaxed a bit, but I had the worry about the staff wanting to clean the room, and I had the worry about not being able to find food because they didn't have room service at the hotel except from 5 to 10 p.m. I thought that was ridiculous. They had the breakfast in the morning, but that only went until 10, and I like to push my meals later. Maybe I should have just gone down and got eggs and bacon and called it good and then just eaten dinner. That probably would have been a little bit smarter. That's what Dave did, but he had his classes to go to, so I don't know. There is something about being on vacation that makes you just want to kind of take a break from reality. So as long as you're not taking a break from keto, you should be okay. You know, you don't have to lose weight on vacation, but it's important not to gain 20 pounds, right? Unless it's water and it's just going to go back away. So I try and be careful to avoid all garbage still because I don't trust myself. I know that if I even took one thing off plan, that I'd be like off. I know that about myself, and I am accepting that. And so I'm making the choice to not let that happen even when I go on vacation. All right. Hey, Teresa is here. Did I already say hi to you? I'm not sure. Reading Mom is here. Let's see. Hey, Red Till I'm Dead Smith. Nice name. Welcome. We're glad to have you. I'm glad you found us. He's new to our channel, or she. Could be either. Let's see. Okay, Karen says she's got a comment. My 22-year-old is doing awesome on keto. It's very lazy keto, but he's basically only getting carbs from any keto dinner I make and the lettuce and tomato he eats with meat at lunch. He's not had any keto flu or cravings. Oh, to be young and metabolically healthy. If he's doing the electrolytes, he shouldn't get keto flu at all. If he's not, he's going to come up against what I call the electrolyte wall or whatever. He's going to hit a wall. It's usually about 2 weeks in. So if he's not 2 weeks in yet, usually your like sodium stores will stick around, especially if you're not having a huge whoosh. If you have a huge whoosh, you should be on top of your electrolytes, because you should just know if you're peeing all the time that you're going to feel like crap if you don't. If he isn't having that, then he should be probably okay for a while, but eventually he'll come up against a electrolyte wall, and he's going to have to need something. Even if you're careful with your electrolytes, sometimes you just need a ton more, especially when you're having a whoosh. Even me, like, knowing that, I still feel like I get depleted every single time I have a whoosh. It drives me crazy, because I feel like I'm just downing it constantly, and I get still sick. Okay, Virginia Webb. I'm restarting keto again, but I'm having a hard time staying away from the sweets. Rewatching my older videos as well as Dr. Berg, Dr. Ken Berry. Anyone else I'd recommend? Yes, Dr. Finney's group has a channel. I think it's just called Virta Health, VIRTA HEALTH. On YouTube. They have a YouTube channel now, and they have a lot of great videos there. Low Carb Down Under has a lot of Dr. Finney's older videos, if you can handle it. Some of the older stuff is really long and dry, so unless you like to take a college class on science, you probably don't want to watch it, but you can get a lot of information that way. Also go to virtahealth.com and click on their blog. There's lots of blog posts. And of course, join the Keto Chaos Facebook group, because I have a great moderator team. Some of them are here, but I have a moderator team that can help you really pinpoint your problems if you are struggling. So we have a great support system over there, and we have 4,000 people on the board. And considering we have so many people, we have very little drama. It's like my ultimate mecca. It's like the perfect Facebook group. I mean, occasionally we'll have to correct people, but it is so rare. We have a great group and a lot of support over there. So if you're on Facebook, I definitely recommend looking up my group. You can just search Keto Chaos. Remember, there's a page that's like my fan page. If you have to just like it, that's not it. You have to join the group, you have to answer some questions. If you don't answer the questions, you won't get let in. Answer the questions, basically, that you won't sell anything. And what's the other question? I can't even remember. Mostly that you won't sell anything. Oh, and that you want bad language. That you'll be kind to each other. And that's my only group rules, really. I don't really allow self-promotion of YouTube videos on there, but we have a great group of like people that help each other. And so if you're looking for support, that's a great way. Also, for support, if you really want some one-on-one help from me, I do offer personal coaching. And the way that I do that is I set you up with a Marco Polo account, and we talk back and forth like this. So you'll send me a question, I will answer it personally. It's $120 for 4 weeks with me, and I try to answer as quickly as I can. Especially in the summer is a great time because I have a lot of extra time, and so I can really delve into topics with you. And even if you are a keto diehard and you're just really trying to pinpoint your issues, or if you're good with keto but you keep falling off or binge eating, that kind of thing, I can really help. So if you want information on that, on how to get started with that, go ahead and email me. My Gmail is just ketochaos@gmail.com, and I can work something out with you for personal mentorship. I do not give meal plans, but I will mentor you on how to create your own if that's where you're struggling. So because I'm not a nutritionist, I cannot give medical advice or nutrition advice. I can only give advice based on like what I know, like I am doing here with you on a live chat, but on a personal basis. So that's basically what the mentorship entails. All right. He wants to lose his belly. Don't we all? I'm so sick of my belly. I cannot even tell you. I love my booty. I don't want to lose any more in the booty, but my belly is driving me crazy. I feel like, gosh, at this point, shouldn't I have a flatter belly than I have? And I just walk around looking pregnant now, because I never looked pregnant. Like the whole time I was pregnant. I have had 8 children that way. Okay, 8 times been pregnant. Well, actually 10 times been pregnant, 2 miscarriages, 8 times with a big belly, and I always had to tell people I was pregnant because I was so overweight and my body was so big that my belly never stuck out. And now, flip, I look at myself cross-eyed or even eat something like a bag of Smart Sweets and I have a belly the size of a 9-monther and makes me walk around people asking me if I'm pregnant. Irritating as heck, right? Oh my goodness. Mac Zoo, you're new to this and it's been slow losing weight. Are you doing my higher protein macros? If not, you should definitely check them out over on Keto Chaos Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, you can email me and I will send you the chart and the getting started guide 100% free, because that's what I do. ketochaos@gmail.com. So if you want help that way, I can send it to you. If you're doing what I'm doing, get on the Facebook group and post what you've been doing and we can try and pinpoint your problem, or sign up with the mentorship with me and I can help you pinpoint it better. Usually there's just one thing that you need to tweak. Often it's electrolytes, often. And really what that means is that you really are losing weight, you're just not seeing it on the scale because of electrolyte issues. So you know from experience with me that you can go 3 months still losing some weight and have the scale go up because of electrolyte imbalances or water weight retention. Uh-oh, am I losing you? Woo, that was creepy. It was almost like I was having an out-of-body experience. Okay, so we'd love to help pinpoint that if you want to come over there to the Facebook. Oh, Virginia, you're in Florida too. You and Karen should get together. That's awesome. Karen says she's been making him a Ketorade every day, and he wanted a second one for welding because he's sweating. So he is taking some sodium. That's good. So hopefully he'll be okay. Maybe he won't feel the keto flu at all. Like, I still get the keto flu every flippity time that I have a whoosh. And because I retain water and then whoosh a lot, like that's just what my body does. I swear I have keto flu every 2 weeks. I hate it. It drives me nuts. All right. Okay. And it's so nice having everyone eat the same thing and no bread in the house. I can't even imagine a world with no bread in the house. I'm actually getting there though because of Virginia having such issues with gluten. And Oliver also has issues with gluten, and I suspect some of the other kids might also be having issues. We are actually migrating towards a wheat-free house as well. I have been buying far less bread and encouraging a lot of other foods for my kids to snack on instead of having sandwiches all the time. Been buying gluten-free pastas, so I'm not full keto, but I'm trying to move them out of the gluten realm because of issues. So yeah, we're getting there at my house, but my kids still love their freaking gummy worms, and I still live in a world where gummy worms are tempting. It's no fun, but I am just too nice to take away the gummy worms from my babies. Maybe I'm too mean because I really should probably do that for them, but just can't quite get there mentally. They're all so little. All right, so Tammy Hinckley says the joint pain could also be high oxalate or bad omega-3 to 6 ratios. The seeds and nuts have high omega-6s and lots of oxalates, which is why they're inflammatory. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, definitely look into that too, if you want, Jennifer, because who knows? I just feel like bugs are crawling on me because I'm outside. There's no beetles on me, right? I just feel like there are. I feel like I'm probably going to get I'm probably sitting in a red ant pile or something. I'm literally I'm leaning on a fire hydrant right now. It's so awesome. All right, let's see. What is Ronnie going to major in? Well, I bet you guys can't figure that out, but it'll be dance, of course. I don't think she'd go to college if it wasn't for the dance program. She just really wants to be a dance teacher, but she also wants to own her own studio at some point. So I'm pretty sure she's going to major in dance and minor in business. I'm not sure. She really struggles, though, with math, and she's having to pay for a prerequisite class that doesn't even count towards her major, which sucks, but it is what it is. So she's having to take Math 950, I think it is, in order to even get into a math class that she needs for her major. She has to have like this weird math class 10:30 or 10:35 or something. I don't know. I was just listening to them tell it, but I don't remember. And she already knows. Like I leaned over and I asked her, like, what math are you doing? And do you know what you're supposed to be doing? She's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and this. She already has dealt with it. She went down and talked to the counselor already, and she figured out all her classes and signed up without my help at all. My husband drove her down, she figured it out. So she's just awesome, which I'm glad she's awesome, because I feel really out of place in the college world. It's not my thing. Like I said, I'm an artist, and she is too, to a degree. And I think she's mostly an artist because of our family culture, because we all dance and all my kids do some sort of art or music. My 17-year-old is a music producer. He's been working on his own, trying to get his music out there. If you want to look him up, he's Leo Soz. I've linked it on the community tab just recently, trying to get him to do more YouTube content, but he's lazy and he doesn't want to do the video part of it. He only wants to do just the music parts. He has so many songs on Spotify and whatever, but you spell it Leoxoze, Leo Soz. I don't know why he came up with that name. It's just cool, I guess. I don't know. It's cute. I helped him with the spelling of Soz so that people could pronounce it right, but I don't know. I kept thinking it looked like with the S, it looked like Soze, so I talked him into the X so it could be all kinds of confusing. Anyway, so yeah, that's more about my kids than you probably wanted to know. All right, let's see. Karen says she's a 4th generation type 2 diabetic, and the Hubs is at least 3rd generation and probably much further back. His brother's also type 1, so genetically her kids are screwed as far as carbs go. I think that I possibly have the celiac gene, so I hear you on the garbage. All of my kids struggle with weight. They always have, and I wish I would have known about keto sooner, because maybe if my oldest ones had been keto, it would have just been our family culture, and I wouldn't be dealing with a 23-year-old with extreme anxiety and cystic acne and agoraphobia and all kinds of things. He's got severe social anxiety, not maybe so much agoraphobia, but he doesn't leave the house much. He only leaves for work and to play Dungeons & Dragons once a week. He doesn't really do anything else, which is fine. It's his prerogative, but I really feel like if he were gluten and dairy free, that he might be a lot more successful in life. And so I kind of hate that we got started on the wrong track. And I do really encourage my younger kids, especially as they have weight issues, because all of them have had weight issues to a degree, except for my adopted child. So obviously it's bum genetics. Our overweight situation has run on both sides of my family for generations. I think we've just had issues with a lot of these things, and food allergies and like environmental allergies and all that kind of stuff has definitely run in our family. A lot of my siblings have like asthma and eczema. A couple of my kids have asthma. My oldest has asthma. A couple of my kids have eczema. I think it's just kind of a, like you said, bum genes. And when you have bum genes, you gotta do what you gotta do. And it's hard to convince kids, and even adult kids, even college age kids, it's really hard to convince them that they need to change their diets to feel better, because to them it just doesn't make sense. I wish that my kids would listen to me a little better that way, but as a mom, you do what you can do. That's just how it is. Sometimes they listen and sometimes they don't. Hey, Keto Grace from Southern Utah, it's good to see you. I should come visit you. It's probably extra warm though. Now all of a sudden I'm feeling the warmth on my back and it feels good. Only now I'm probably gonna get a sunburn because my hair is short, right? I should bring sunscreen with me now at all times, I think. Yeah. All right, let's see. Your daughter started paleo recently. That's awesome. That's a great step into eating whole foods. It's really, really good. So that's definitely good. If I could get my kids to even go that far, it would be such a relief for sure. Oh, thank you, Karen, for linking the Facebook group. I appreciate it. My 21-year-old son wants to start keto, but he eats so many carbs. How can I help him? he has to get to the right mindset. Really, he has to want it bad enough to give those things up. I don't recommend like easing into it. You can't really ease into ketosis. The faster you get into ketosis, the better, and the easier it's going to be. If you drag it out over time, the likelihood of you actually succeeding into getting into ketosis is really slim. Definitely start him out on a high fat week and give him all the keto treats. So, especially for these young kids, they need to know that they're not going to have to give up everything that tastes good. So get a lot of fatty meats, get a lot of bacon, pepperoni, make a lot of skillet pizzas with cheese and pepperoni and stuff like that, and so that they can feel like they're getting kind of similar to what they're used to. I definitely wouldn't encourage them to do a veggie pasta yet, like a zoodle or a spaghetti squash right off, because they're probably going to hate that. But after you've been on keto for a while and you just kind of tired of the same old, your tastes kind of change and you're more willing to try things like that. They probably won't think it's a good pasta alternative. Just none of the pasta alternatives are good until you've been on keto for a while. That's just the honest truth. Definitely though, skillet pizzas just using cheese or even a fathead dough, though it's hard to get off of a fathead dough if you start with a fathead dough. Can definitely help move him in the right direction though if he wants to just try it. If he's extremely overweight, I wouldn't recommend a fathead dough because you're never going to get rid of it. Like, it's too addictive. I think those almond flour things are just too addictive. Do a lot of heavy whipping cream with stevia in it with some strawberries. That's a good one for me. That one really helped me when I was craving something decadent. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, like, why would anyone even bother eating ice cream or any other dessert because this tastes so good? Because it really does feel decadent to eat just plain heavy whipping cream whipped up with some stevia and some strawberries. It's really, really good. You can, of course, add cream cheese, and there's lots of different recipes out there. My favorite is heavy whipping cream, cream cheese, and Mio, a water enhancer, like lemon Mio water enhancer. I also really like sugar-free Jell-O powder with heavy whipping cream and cottage cheese. That combo is also really, really good and decadent and fun for summer barbecues. You'll notice I do that. In fact, I showed that briefly in one of my videos recently, and I thought people are going to ask me about that. Salad, that's how you make it. I use a quart of heavy whipping cream, start whipping it up with 2 packs of sugar-free Jell-O powder, and I whip it until it's nice and stiff, and then I fold. Well, what I do is I drain out about a cup of cottage cheese, drain all the way off of it because that's where most of the carbs are, and then fold it into the mixture, and it's a really yummy, delicious cottage cheese Jell-O salad. It makes a great barbecue item. So that's my best advice to you, but he has to want it. That's the honest truth. I wish that my 23-year-old would want it. I'm going to put this up on my neck because I think I'm going to get a sunburn now. And now I'm showing off my undies to all the college students. Do you think they'll care? Probably not. They're mostly ignoring me like I'm a crazy person when they walk by. All right. Okay, Teresa Treasure asks, I'm going to need to do protein shakes to assist with the protein macros. Do I need to limit the almond milk? Not necessarily. Just look at the macros on it and track it, weigh it and track it. I don't think you should measure it like volume wise. Definitely weigh it and go by the measurement of grams on the thing. I don't do a lot of almond milk, but it's fairly low carb and I think it's fairly safe. It's not like doing an almond flour where you're getting all the calories from the fat in it. It could be inflammatory though. So if you find you're retaining water, it could be a problem. You could switch to something else. I mean, there's other milks like coconut milk that you could use, though I think coconut might have more. I've never used it, so I'm not sure. Definitely read the labels, make sure that you track it and all of that. There are other ways to get protein powder in you that don't involve shakes. So there are some weird recipes out there. Look for protein powder breads, protein powder cookies, protein powder sludge, which is just as weird as it sounds, but believe it or not, supposedly is quite tasty, which doesn't involve like, it's a smaller volume, so you can get more of it in. But honestly, if you can avoid protein powders, really only use them if you absolutely can't get it in any other way. If you cannot use whole foods, use as much whole food as you possibly can. Add egg whites to your omelets. Eat high density proteins that are low in fat, like poultry, that kind of thing, and use the 0% Faye yogurt and only count half the carbs on that. And that's good ways to get whole foods in before you resort to protein powders. The only time I've really had to do protein powders was when I was trying to do OMAD. One meal a day was too much. I couldn't get that much volume in my stomach to get 120 grams of protein in my stomach. Like, it was just too hard. So when I'm doing 2 meals, it's easy as pie. When I'm doing 3 meals, I can hit 200. I love me some protein now. At the beginning, it was really hard because of your, what is it called? Your appetite is really severely suppressed at the beginning. It doesn't stay that way, so enjoy it while you can. Really, it's only hard at the beginning to get that protein in. Once you've been going for a while, it's really easy, and sometimes it's really hard to stop. I could eat like a 16-ounce prime rib and still keep eating peanuts. I've done that at Texas Roadhouse and still could just feel like I could just eat and eat. It's part of the binge eating disorder. That's my problem, which is another reason I really like tracking, because if I make sure that I eat what my macros are and I try not to overeat them, it just kind of gives me a guide so that I can avoid the binging. I do still binge occasionally. I tend to binge on sugar-free Jell-O. I get the Winkies brand from Walmart in the fridge section by the yogurt, and I'll eat like 6 of those if I have to, if I really want to feel that super full feeling. But I try really hard not to do that because, it's a mental game. It's all a mental game. If you want to lose weight, it's all up here. And so if you let yourself fall into that trap over and over, you're going to be struggling. Yeah, that's just the long and short of it right there. So let's see. The sun is coming in and it's making my screen go really dark. So I might have to shade my camera to read. Can you see me shading? Okay. Oh, I know, the Oreos, me too, especially my little guy who's allergic to milk because they don't have milk in them, but I think he might be wheat sensitive, so I'm trying to get rid of the Oreos, but they love them. They're so good. In fact, they're my favorite cookie. I miss them. Let's see. So Karen says a friend of mine had an autistic son on a gluten-free diet and he got contaminated with gluten, and it was obvious because his autistic behaviors were so much more pronounced. Yes. I have found that with my kids, especially my daughter who's sensitive to gluten. She gets sick. I mean, like, so sick, like within minutes of eating it. So we know right away if she's been contaminated. It sucks because it's like practically impossible. I'm replacing my pans. We're changing how our kitchen works. We're doing so much and she still gets sick. So cereals even that don't claim to be gluten-free but don't have wheat on the label still have made her sick. So we have to make sure it says gluten-free right on the product, and that it's also yeast-free. Because ironically, she's very sensitive to yeast, which means a lot of the gluten-free breads are also not available to her to use because they also make her sick. They make her have really bad gas. So like someone suggested nutritional yeast for me to get B vitamins to help with my anxiety, and I was like, not going there. If my daughter's that sensitive to yeast, good chance I am too. So I'm trying to avoid yeast products myself. Definitely want to avoid that. So let's see. Yeah, keep me posted, Jennifer, on your elimination diet. That's awesome. Yeah, gluten can cause behavior issues. So can dairy. My 3 kids that are allergic to dairy, it causes them depression, anxiety, acting out. They'll pee random places. My 3-year-old is the worst. He will pee or poop like random places when he's had it. It's like it's a radar. I'm like, oh, you cheated. I know you ate something with milk in it, because he will pee in the most random places. And my oldest also did the same thing. It was the weirdest thing. I always knew when he had an allergen. So yeah, it's just something that you have to watch really careful. One thing though is the out of control behavior. Hitting their faces on the ground is a huge sign. None of my kids smack their face on the ground unless they've had an allergen. And if they have, they rub their faces in the ground. Even my daughter, who we're just finding out about gluten, I remember when she was a baby, she constantly had her face in the carpets. It never occurred to me that was a sign that she was allergic to something. But now that I'm seeing a connection between those behaviors, I'm realizing she showed us signs a long time ago that we just didn't want to see. So I'm watching my 3-year-old really carefully because I think he might also be sensitive, and also my 8-year-old who's starting to struggle with anxiety randomly. It's not consistent enough to be like full on anxiety because it comes so randomly. And then she'll have days like yesterday where she's standing in line for water slides and she's meeting people and she's like, yeah, we're YouTubers, and she's telling them our channel and everything, and she's like talking to everyone. And then she'll have times where I introduce her to a fan and she shuts down, like can't speak. So I don't know, with her, I'm not sure yet if it's dietary related or if it's just she just has weird random anxiety. I don't know. It's so hard to figure it out, you guys. It's so hard. Rosie Osales, your college kids eat healthy and go to the gym? That's fantastic. My daughter does too. I wouldn't say she's 100% healthy, but she does definitely try and stick to whole foods as much as she can. And she is a dancer, so of course she exercises constantly. Hey, Nona Grace is here. Welcome. It's good to see you. And Nayla Soul says she can't eat very many greens or she gets bloated. Bloated and uncomfortable. Are they necessary? Nope. They are not. Anyone that tells you that they are is not telling you the truth about keto. So for three reasons. Number one, there are no essential carbohydrates to life. You do not actually need carbs to live. Shocking, I know, but it's really true. Your body can get everything that it needs, even glycogen from proteins. So you do not need to worry about that. Number two, fiber. New studies are coming out every single day. If you go over to the vertahealth.com blog, there is a really intensive scientific blog post about why fiber is not necessary on a ketogenic diet. And the reason why fiber is so important is because it sits down in the gut and it like ferments and it puts off a gas or whatever it's called something butyrate. Okay, the being in ketosis also stimulates the same types of butyrates, and they're basically saying that it's just as good for gut health as fiber. So the fiber is not necessarily the thing that you need from greens. The only thing that you actually need is your micronutrients, and you can get those from handy dandy multivitamins. So yeah, you don't really need them. Take a multivitamin. That's why I only eat about a cup a day, because I just don't care. I just don't care about them. I don't even eat greens very often. Like if I eat, you'll notice I'm mostly doing a spaghetti squash, and that's mostly for taste and volume. I really like to have volume, and I really like the spaghetti squash, and it's one of the higher carbs of the safe vegetables. So I have to make sure I'm careful on those days that I have that I have enough room in my carbs for that, because I think it's like 8 net carbs for a cup of that stuff. So it's definitely not uber low carb, but I love it. So yeah, you definitely don't need your cruciferous if it's causing you issues. Just let it go. No reason to do it if you're doing a multivitamin and you're in ketosis. So there you go. That's my take on that. I mean, based on science that I've studied. Obviously, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so, you can't take everything that I say with all 100%. I'm not like the mouthpiece of literally God or anything, but I try and keep up on as much of it as I can and share my knowledge the best way I can, and that's kind of where I'm at. So, hey, Flowers for Wonder Girl is here. Hey, since you're here, I thought I should tell you why I thought you were this person that I know in real life. Okay, so I am heavily involved in a homeschool group that does we call it summit, but we do I don't even know how you call it. It's not really LARPing, but it's an event where we dress up like princesses and we have war, and we all do the huzzah, huzzah, huzzah thing. And you said huzzah in one of the posts. Also, I have a friend who used to be heavily involved in that, whose name is Wonder Woman. And so Flowers for Wonder Girl, it made me think that maybe you were one of her kids. I thought maybe you were one of her kids. So that's why I thought maybe we knew each other in real life. And I thought when you said we didn't, I was like, hey, we are really kindred spirits, aren't we? Like, that's just awesome that you would be so similar to people that I know and love and I spend a lot of time with. So I think we're kindreds, and I really appreciate all of your support on both of my channels. You are fantastic. Those of you who take the time out of your life to watch my sweet little kids over on Hide and Seek, we appreciate it. We're getting there. We're at almost about 1550 subs, and we appreciate it. And we know it's mostly you guys, and we love you. We know you guys are investing your time in both of these channels, and you guys are just awesome. I really appreciate it, and I'm like, I don't know, I get choked up about it sometimes and think, gosh, you guys really care. Like, I'm not doing this for no reason, because even though I really care about you, and I try really hard to express that, because I really, really do care about you, I love that it's reciprocated and I feel also cared for. And you guys are awesome. Even some of you to go over and make comments on the community tab when we don't have comments on that channel, which YouTube is dumb. I don't understand why I don't have comments. Like, I have no subs hardly. Why do I need not? I mean, I don't have any like negative, I don't know. And there's lots of family channels out there that still have comments. And so then it really irritates me because I don't understand why they take mine away, but they give other people theirs. The only thing that makes me feel better is most of the ones that I personally watch who have like 1 million subscribers or more also have their comments removed. So I feel like I'm one of the group. Oh my goodness. Okay. Am I coming to San Diego? Not unless somebody sponsors me. But if you want to sponsor me, I come. I come out and hang out with you. You can organize some kind of little group and I'll come and talk and teach a class and we can figure out someone to sponsor me. Yeah, like find a local keto business who wants to bring in some business to their business. Come on, and I will come and do a class and we can advertise it and just find me an inexpensive way to stay. Hey, I'm in. Count me in. I'll drive over there. I'll drive over there for that. Sure, why not? Anybody who wanted to do that, I would do it. I was so disappointed in the Mexico trip because she was so gung-ho about it and then she fell off the face of the earth and I'm like, dang it, now I don't get to go to Mexico. The only place I'm going to go this year is Denver. I didn't even like Denver that much. Sucks. So I would love to, but I will tell you, Nayla, my daughter's coming in to not San Diego. They're not going that far south. They're coming straight into, oh, where is it? Orange County, I guess. Oh, Disneyland area. They're not going to Disneyland, but they're coming in that area, going to Harry Potter World for 2 days. They're going to go to Universal for 2 days, and then they're going to head north up the coast. They're going to stop in San Francisco for a couple of days and then head up to Oregon. So if you want to meet Ronnie, maybe you could drive up from San Diego and meet Ronnie and Oliver and Sullivan. They're all going to be coming out at the end of July. They're leaving, I think, on the 20th of July and going on their senior road trip. Gonna have so much fun cruising up the coast. So if you want to meet them, let me know and we can work it out. They love to meet fans. So come on by. All right. Devonna Campbell says, I've been watching your videos in order and I'm almost to the one where you announced hide and seek. Oh my gosh. You guys are a glutton for punishment. Do you know how many videos I have on? I think this is video number 386. I could be wrong on the number. 386 videos, guys. You don't need to go back to the beginning to catch up, but I do have playlists. So if you're in the mood to binge watch stuff, I do have some playlists. So if you go on the community tab and go, well, not the community tab, but if you go on the tabs and click playlists, I have a weigh-in playlist. You can watch every single one in a row. I don't think I missed any, but I may have because it's a lot of them. But yeah, like I think I'm on a week 129. So there should be, and I started at 36. So there should be like 100, almost 100 weigh-in videos that you can binge watch and watch me shrink. It's kind of fun. And then there's also recipes playlist for any of the recipes I've done. I don't do a lot of recipes. So if you're looking for them, that's where they are. And I also have a losing weight playlist and a maintenance playlist. So you can watch the losing weight playlist. Will give you the ones I do while I'm cutting my macros down. And then the maintenance is a lot of just whatever I do whenever I'm doing lazy keto or tracking maintenance calories. So I have those playlists there if you guys want to check that out. You don't have to watch every video I've ever made, but I appreciate it. That's insane. And also, if you guys want to check out the family channel Hide and Seek, we do have playlists over there too. So I have we just started season 4. I'm going by the seasons of the year because our life kind of goes in different like seasons that way. Oh no, looks like they're done. I might have to find my daughter. But anyway, if you go over there and go to there was season 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So you can binge watch it that way and it's all in order. Or I have been creating a Hide family playlist, like my favorites. I have been going back and rewatching my videos and basically picking the ones that tell our story the best, are the least boring, the most entertaining, and I've been saving those to a new playlist for people to watch so they can kind of catch up without having to watch every video. Because I think we have, oh my gosh, on that channel, I think I have almost 300 videos. No, over 300 videos already on that channel. I'm a little bit video happy, guys. What can I say? I'm born to YouTube. I wish I would have started it years ago, but it is what it is. So, well, it looks like the classes are finishing up, so I'm gonna go find my daughter and get some barbecue. Here's hoping, or wings if I have to. But I gotta go, so I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys, and I love you all so much, and I hope that you guys will like this video. I see 42 people here and only 13 likes, so go ahead and like it before you leave. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll talk to you all again soon.